All right, I will start 5 minutes from now. I will start 5 minutes from now, and time is ticking. Tick tock, tick tock. It's 1:42. Take off at 5. Yes, sirree. Take off at 5. 1:55. And this will be our first position on the board when we start at 5. And we are at 217. Do you know how this works? Do you? If you do, send me a message. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's have some fun expanding our minds. Oh yeah. We are 3 minutes. Take off at 5. Take off at 5. Take off at 5. And we are approaching the 4 minute mark. The 4 minutes. Take off. Take off at 5. We at 4. Let's breathe. Almost 4:30. In 30 seconds, it's a go. It's a go. Houston. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, it's 5. It's 5. All right, let's start. So this is our first position. And the question is, we do have a checkmate. And the question is, how do we do it? Well, it is fine to play. If it's black to play, it's stalemate, a draw. The king is in the corner, frozen, he can't move. Alright, so what's going to happen here, I'm going to move the bishop, this here. I'm going to move it here. And the bishop from here is going to form a triangle. Alright, so let's connect the dots like this and like this. Now, why is this important? It's important because when the bishop moves to g6, okay, the queen is going to give check to the king, and the king is going to move over to g8, and the queen is going to travel on the base of the triangle, h7 and f7. Alright? So this is what you have to remember. This is the pattern, the triangle. Alright, so let's take a look how it works. Are you ready? Are you ready? And here we go. Bishop to g6, checky wacky. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? And the king moves over, and now the queen is going to go to that square and that square, forming the base of the triangle. And here we go. Checky wacky, king to f8, and checkmate. And that's that. That was pretty simple, no? Alright. Alright. Let us move on. Let us move on to this one. And here it is. Here it is. Yeah, this is it. Do you see it? I see it. Alright then. So this is the wedge. Oh, wrong touch. Excuse me. Alright, just a sec. Alright. Now it's alright. Okay then. So let us move on. So this is the wedge. Alright, so what I need to do is somehow I want my queen to be on this square. Okay? Alright. The queen should not have the d5 square. Should not have the d5 square. How should I put a pawn there? A white pawn. So the queen does not have the square d5. My mistake. Alright. So what the queen has to do is somehow get from here to there. Okay? And it's going to do that by going to h1, and from h1 it's going to go to h7, and that's the way it's going to work. Now in the meantime, we have two obstacles here, and we need to get rid of them, and we have to use power moves. And now what are power moves? Power moves are checks and captures. So it's going to work something like this. Okay? Rook to h8, checky wacky, yum yum. Rook to h1, checky wacky. Over, rook to h8, checky wacky, yum yum. And the queen eventually gets to h1. And now, here we go. Queen to h7, check and mate. Alright. So in this position, remember, white has a pawn on d5. I forgot to place it there, I'm sorry, but let's just say the queen cannot go to d5. And in this position, somehow the queen has to land here. And the signal for that is this pawn here. Alright? So the queen has to attach itself to the pawn. Right? And the way it's going to do that is going to go to h1, and from h1 to h7. Alright, so here we go. Let's get rid of the obstacles, the two rooks. Checky wacky. checky wacky, checky wacky, checky wacky, and check and mate. Alright, so the fourth method is a bunch of power moves. Which are checks and captures. Those are the most forcing moves. Alright? So the first move is a check, second move is a check, third move is a check, fourth move is a check, and the fifth move is a check, and a checkmate. That is how this works. Alright then. Alright. Okay then. That was simple, no? Now, we are looking at this. What is going on? What is going on in this one? So what are the power moves here? What are the power moves? Let's look. Well, it's checks and captures. And then we're going to look at the stronger of the two. Yeah. Alright. Let's look at the stronger of the two. Alright. Alright, the stronger of the two is a check. So how many checks does a white have? So we make a mental list of the checks that white has. There's only one right here. Okay? It doesn't make much sense because the king is going to go yum yum and the queen will be gone. Alright? And then black is going to win eventually. So the checks are not going to do it in this position. And now we're going to look at captures. Do we have captures? Okay, we have two captures. We can capture with the bishop, or we can capture with the queen. Alright, how do we choose which to look at first? My rule of thumb is what? Capture with the stronger piece. And it was a check, and I have a choice of two checks. I will check with the stronger piece. The rule of the stronger piece. Alright then, so let's start. So if I do this, 13 mate next move. Yes? Alright, so what's going on? So the pawn has to take the queen, right? And now the G line is open. Alright, so we start with a capture, he takes back, and now we continue with a check. The power moves, and the king has to go in the corner. And then the next move I want to play is a check if it's there, and it is. So bishop takes f6 is check and mate. Do you see that? Do you see that? So this is all about power moves. Let's see how this works. Okay, capture is a power move. Yum yum. Check is a power move. King over. And check is a power move. And that's all she wrote. Check and mate. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Alright, that was pretty simple. Jets 542, I see you, baby. Give me a signal that there's life there. Give me a signal. Give me a heartbeat. Yeah, baby. Alright then. Let's move on. And here we go. There's the next one. The next pattern. And let's look at it. Alright. Do what you can. 502. Do what you can. Now, in this position, this is the way it looks. Alright. There's a checkmate here somewhere, and we are attacking with two fighters. The rook and the bishop. They make up a team of two, and they converge on the g7 square. Oops, ha ha ha. Let me move the board here a second. They converge on this square. Here we go. Can I make a red mark? Yeah, there it is. Okay. The rook says, I see you, and the bishop says, I see you. So the two lines converge on g7. Now, if I take with the bishop, that's a capture. If I take with the rook, that's a check. So the power moves are checks and captures. Alright? So I'm going to always look at checks first to see if it works. Because a check is the most forcing move. And this is a method of forcing. Alright then. So let's see how this works. I go checky wecky. And the bishop protects the rook. The king has to go in the corner. And the bishop x-rays all the way to h8. Yes? Okay. So rook takes g7. And the king goes in the corner. And the bishop x-rays. And now, when the rook moves from g7, okay, it'll be a check. So where should the rook go? Where should the rook go? That's the question. So rook takes g7, king to h8, and now where does the rook go so the bishop can do a check? Well, if the rook comes back somewhere, okay, the bishop will give check, but black will have a defense in f6, and the pawn on f6 will block the attack by the bishop, and that doesn't work. So why doesn't this work? Because black has a defense, which is pawn on f7 moves to f6, right? So that gives us a big clue. So let's see. So what do we have to do? Let's see. So if rook takes on g7 and king goes to h8, we're going to remove the defense, the pawn on f7, and the bishop is going to give a check to the king. The king is going to move over, attacking the rook, and the rook is going to go here back to g7, attacking the king. The king is going to go in the corner again, and now we can move back, let's say, and the bishop will attack the king in the corner, and that's a checkmate. Oh no, it's not, because then the rook can block on f6. But no problem, we saw that. Bishop takes rook on f6, and it is checkmate. Do you see that? Let's put it in the board. Let's put it in the board. Here we go. Are you ready, Jelly Belly? Checky wecky, who's your daddy? King to h8. Remove the defender. And now we have a check by the bishop. King moves over, attacking the rook. Rook goes to g7 like a seesaw. Checky wecky. King goes in the corner, and we'll bring the bishop back on the g file. Voila! And when the rook blocks the bishop, we go yum yum, and it's all over. And this is how this works. Today, not today, we're going to do play. Play day is Wednesday. That's when we chat and play. Today, it's about skill development. Knowledge. Today is knowledge accumulation. Yes, sirree. And if you're not a master, this will be a useful stuff to study, to learn, and then to apply. Yes, sirree. All right, then. All right. Let's move on. And let's go to the next diagram and see how this works. So all these patterns is something that you should memorize. And then when you memorize it, you should break it down and know the mechanics of it. And you should ask yourself, why do they work? And then you should be able to answer that question. It's like dismantling a machine, putting all the parts together. And then when you do that, you know the pattern inside out. And then you can play it without thinking. No thought, just instinct. Yes, sirree. All right then, let's look at this. Are you looking? Okay, get some chocolate. Get some ice cream. Yummy, yummy, good for tummy. Always good thing. Yes, sirree. Get some chocolate. I had some yesterday. I liked it. Was smooth and sweet. Oh yeah. Okay then. Okay then. So how will this work? How will this problem be expressed as a solution? How does this work? It has a name. Anastasia, mate. Anastasia. Why is it called Anastasia? I don't know. It could, I am not sure. But there used to be a Russian princess called Anastasia before the Russian Revolution. Well, good players are lucky. You know what I'm saying? Good players are lucky. How did it feel to munch a 2000? How did it feel? Tell me. All right, good job. Good job. Well, that's a good signal. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. I don't know. I don't know. It's not clear to me. Okay? I mean, one thing for sure. One thing for sure. I mean, it shows potential, right? Yeah. All right. So, do you know 502? Do you know how to play this position? Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea how to do this? Where is the checkmate hiding in this position? Where is it hiding? If you know it, you know it. You don't think, you do it. But if you don't know it, then you have to think. And the way you're going to think, you're going to use the power moves of checks and captures. Oh, bird. Bird. All right. You also play. Do you play a Dutch defense? All right. So let's see how this works. Are you ready? Are you ready? I think I might be ready. All right. So the king has this square to go to, and from this square back to this square. So if you look at this, the king has two squares. So what we do, we have to shut down these squares and freeze the king. And freezing means to paralyze, so the king can't move. All right. So using a power move method, we are looking for checks and captures. Yes, sirree. And do we have a check? Yes, we do. And what is it? Knight to e7. Checky wecky, yeah? And the king has to be pushed in the corner, and in the corner it is frozen, yes? It is frozen. All right, do you see that much? And now the rook and the king are aligned on the same line. And if the pawn wasn't there, it will be checkmate. So this wall of pawns here protect the king from checkmate. So what is going to happen that this rook is going to sacrifice on h7 to make a hole in the wall. And when the king eats the rook, this rook is going to slide over and attack the king because the wall has been removed. And that should be check and mate. Do you feel me? Do you feel me? Do you see what I'm saying? So 542. How long have you been playing chess? Okie dokie. So let's put this on the board and see how this works. And here we go. So we'll start with a check because that's a power move. King goes in the corner, is frozen. We make a hole in the wall. King must take and then check. And it's mate. Now why is it mate? Because all the squares around the black king are shut down. Let's take a look. The king is under attack. That's shut down. This is shut down by the rook. This is shut down by the rook. This square is shut down by the knight. This square is shut down by the knight. And g7 is occupied, therefore closed. So as you see, the red area is closed. And the king is under check. It cannot move. And it's check and mate. And this is how this works. It's a mating net. Or the king is in the mating box. And he's under attack and frozen. Cannot run. Cannot fight back. And has no friends to help him. So this is check and mate. Oh yeah. Well, guess what, 502? Being here, you can study with me. That's the first step. To get better at something, you have to do two things. Are you ready? Two things. Number one, you have to study. And number two, you have to practice, which is play. So study and practice, baby. That's how you get better. Study and practice. So you probably play, kind of maybe a lot, but you study, habits are low. So welcome to the Punk Monk Z Show, baby. This is where we pump you up. This is where we pump you up. All right? And therefore we pass on the sacred knowledge. Oh, cool. Good, good, good. So do you play your brother? Oh, well, that's normal. That's normal. But you know what? When you study with me, you'll get closer to munching him. You'll get closer. And all that depends on you. How much effort, how much study you're gonna do. But this is your first step. The Punk Monk Z, baby. This is where the knowledge is. All right. Now let's take a look at this position, 502. All right. We have 2 rooks on the 7th. Yes. 2 rooks on the 7th rank. And the black king only has 1 square to move to. Okay, that is always a checkmate. 2 rooks on the 7th, and the black king only has 1 square to move to. That is always check and mate. Alright? So, let's see how this works. Do you see how it works? 502. Do you see it? No, it's not a draw, it's a win. 2 rooks on the 7th, with 1 square for the king to run to. It is a win, baby. It's a win. Alright? Now we're going to use power moves. And how are we going to start this attack? Using power moves. And power moves are checks and captures. So let's start with the top power move. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. It is a check. That's right. And the next move is a check. That's correct. And then when he moves over, the last move is a check. And it is a check and mate. Alright, let's go back. Now 2 rooks on the 7th are very, very powerful because they have 2 functions. Number 1, usually pawns are on the 7th and the rooks eats the pawns. And the king is trapped on the 8th rank. So because of that, because the rook sets up a barrier, force field on the 7th, the king can escape. So he can also play for checkmate. So 2 benefits of the rooks on the 7th are eating pawns, yum yum, and also playing for the king. Alright? And we use power moves. Checky wecky, checky wecky, checky wecky. 3 checks equals mate. Power moves, baby. Power moves. So when you're attacking the kings, remember, you have to use power moves. And now you know what they are. Use them. Do it, baby. Do it. Alright then. And let's see what's next on the menu. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is a simple one. Simple. And let me just move it back. And let me see what's going on. Alright. So here it is. Here it is. How do you see this position? What thoughts are you experiencing when you see this? What thoughts are you experiencing? Share with me your thoughts. D3. This is D3 square right here. Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me correct something. Alright. So, this is a D3 square. Okay? And it can't be D3 because it's not a check and it's not a capture. And the rook can go yum yum. Okay? You see what I'm saying, Jelly Bean? Oh, E6, got it. Alright. Now, you know what? That is correct. That is correct. Now let me show you something very interesting. I'm going to share with you a secret. Alright? Are you ready for the secret? Let's look at the king. The king can go here, the king can go here, and the king can go there. And the king is here. Okay? So it can move in this line. And if you connect all the 3 squares across horizontal, it is this. Alright? So if white had more pieces, on the board, okay, these lines, the king's lines, will tell you which pieces to use. Now what does that mean? Which pieces move horizontally? which pieces move vertically, and that's the rook and the queen. So already these lines tell you what weapon, what piece to use to get to the king. And who gave you this clue? The king himself gave you the clue. You see that? And therefore, by playing this move here, you're shutting down the horizontal, you're shutting down all these squares, and you shut down the vertical. You see that? And because the queen can move in those lines, horizontally and vertically. So the king lines, okay, use them. It's a huge clue. It's a huge clue. Okay? All right then. Now this is pretty simple. It's almost the same thing as the last one with a slight difference. And let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at this. Marijuana, baby, you're hiding, you're keeping silence. Come out and play. Help Zaki have a nice day. Marijuana. Okie dokie. So what is this about? So this is something similar. Oh, come on. That's why you're here, baby. To get a clue, because this is Chess 101. The Punk Mang Z. Mind expansion. The Punk Mang Z mind expansion. All right. So let's take a look. The king, the black king can go here and here and here. So basically, the black king can move horizontally and also vertically. Now, if white had more pieces on the board, like a rook and a knight and a bishop, okay, and he has a choice of many different pieces to attack the black king, what piece would he use? Okay, and what I'm telling you, the black king gives you a clue what piece to use, what weapon to use against him. Now, so let me show you again. The black king is on this square. It can move on that square. It can move on that square. That's a horizontal line of 3 squares. And the king can go this way. That's a vertical line of 2 squares. All right? So I'm going to use a piece that can attack horizontally and vertically to shut down those lines. Okay? Now, and there's only one piece. If I have more pieces that can attack horizontally and vertically at the same time, and that's the queen. And by playing this move here, I'm shutting down all these squares. 4 squares. Okay? And it's kind of interesting. Okay? I mean, when I look at this position, I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call it a little bird. Why am I calling it a little bird? Because this is the little tail of the bird, and this is the head of the bird. And they're connected. Little bird. Okay? If I look at this position, okay, the tail and the head are separated. So you have to create a Frankenstein monster. Connect the parts, baby! Connect the parts. Check and mate. Oh yeah. You feel me? Do you feel me? Right there. All right then. Did you like the little bird story? Yeah, baby. Now, let's see what we can find in a different puzzle to take away from this. So we'll have more knowledge. And here's the position. And what are we doing here? We're learning how to give a checkmate with a bishop and a knight. A bishop and a knight. That's what we're trying to do. All right? The bishop is aiming at the king in the corner. So when the knight moves, the bishop is going to say hello, checky wecky. Okay, and the trick is when a knight moves, the knight should also give a checky wecky. You can do it from g6 or f7. All right, you understand what I'm saying? All right. So if I play this move, knight check, all the dark squares are covered by the bishop, and the king only has one square to go. Okay, and so he does. And now the bishop is covering the dark squares, and now the knight has to cover these two squares. And how does he do that? By playing this check. Now let's take a look at this relationship between the bishop and the knight. All right, so the bishop covers the dark squares, and the knight covers the white squares. And the rook obstructs the king, and the pawn obstructs the king. All right, so all the squares around the black king, including the square of the king, are covered. They're shut down. The king cannot run, the king cannot fight, and there's no help for the king. Therefore, it is a mating net, or king in the box. Check and mate, baby. It's all over. So another thing I want to mention here for your mind expansion, in the final position, the bishop, in the final position, mating position, if I can make colors here, yeah, the bishop and the knight are always in a mating position, they're always on the same color, and that's the clue. Now, why are they on the same color? By being on the same color, they attack different colors. Okay, so basically, there's no duplication. They attack in different color squares by being on the same color. Big clue. You feel me? Okay, there's another way to do it. You're right. There's another way to do it. You're right. 542. Let's see how that might be. All right, here we go. Let me set it up. Voila, baby. All right then. So what are you thinking? You want to tell me? Don't be shy. Give it a try. Don't run away. Stay and play. Okay, G6 and E7, baby. E7. You're right. You're right. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Are you ready? All right, so knight takes G6 is a double check. Double check. The knight says hello to the king, and the bishop says hello again. That's called double check. The king is attacked twice. And then when the king goes over to the white square, notice that the dark squares are shut down by the bishop. And now the king is frozen on a white square. All right? And the knight is on a white square. So that's an indicator that a knight can attack the king because they're both on the white squares. All right? And the next move, of course, is knight to e7, check and mate. Yeah, baby. The knight is attacking the king. G8 is closed. And G7 and H8 are covered by the bishop. They're closed. And F8, F7, and H7 are obstructed, therefore closed. And therefore, all the squares around the king are covered and they are shut down. And the king, the black king, cannot fight, cannot run, and there's no friends to help him. So this is check and mate. So this is the pattern with a bishop and a knight. Do you feel me, baby? Do you feel me? All right then. I know what you meant to say. I know, baby. I know what you're thinking. All right. So, what do you think of these patterns? Are you learning anything? Your choices are yes or no. If it's I don't know, that's a no. All right then. Let's see what we can find in the next in the next example, and this is it. Very, very famous example, okay? And I'll let you look at it. And it's very famous. It was played by Richard Reti. But the good thing, 542, if you don't remember these patterns, your subconscious mind will remember it. Okay? So if you reach a position that's similar to the pattern, you see, your subconscious mind is going to let your conscious mind, is going to trigger it. It's going to kind of give you a feeling, wait a minute, I have seen something like this before. And then you're going to try to recall what you have seen before. And then some information is going to come from underneath, from the sub. It's going to enter the above, the conscious level. Okay? And then you go, whoa. Now I have a feeling. I think I understand something. You see what I'm saying? You see? And then you start kind of suspecting there's something there. And then you will start, if you don't quite see everything, then you're going to use the help of power moves, which are checks and captures. And they're going to carry you through the solution. You know what I'm saying? Okay? You have to believe it, baby. It all starts with belief. All right, then. Let me do this a little bit. Oh, yeah. All right. So, this is an interesting position. It's an interesting position. It is white to play. And there's a forced check and mate, baby. There's a forced check and mate. All right. Now, do you know how to do this? It's either yes or no. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yes or no. Yeah. All right. So, is it a yes or no? Talk to me. Marijuana, why you silent, baby? Paoa, you're here. You're in silence. Send me a signal that there's a heartbeat, a pulse there. Don't be shy. Give it a try. Don't run away. Stay and play. Help the punk monk. Have a nice day. All right, so nobody knows this? Nobody knows this? Okay, so you don't know the pattern? All right, so what we're going to do now, if you know the pattern, you don't think, you just do it. Okay? Yeah, baby. Right on. That's right, Power. Now I hear you. Now I hear you. I sense you. My spider tingle is there. Okay? I'm tingling. All right. So what's happening here? Okay. So here it is. Here it is. You don't know it. So what do you do it? What you do, use power moves, and power moves are checks and captures. So what is a power move? The strongest power move is a check. It's the most forcing move. Do we have checks? And the answer is yes. How many? The answer is 2. And what are they? Let's take a look. Yeah, baby. Let's take a look. We have a little checky wecky, and we have another checky wecky here. We have 2 checky weckies, baby. 2 of them. All right. Now, this checky wecky allows black to take the queen with the knight, with the bishop, or the king. So if the queen goes to d7, black has 3 choices, 3 weapons, 3 options to destroy the queen, right? But if I play the queen to d8, there's only one weapon that black can play. King takes d8. So what does this mean in the larger picture? What does this mean? It means this. When you're making forcing moves, make the forcing moves that will reduce his options. because if your opponent has more options, he's probably he's much more healthier, but he has less options, then he's less healthier. Let's put it that way. Okay? So you know what? Just to make it short, I will look at the correct move, queen to d8. Now, why would I sacrifice the queen? Why would I sacrifice it? So if I play queen to d8 and king goes, and I put the black king on a dark square, on a dark square. Is this a dark square? Yes, it is. Now, why is the dark square important? That's the question. Because when I play bishop to g5, my bishop will attack the dark square, and my rook will be open on a d line to attack the dark square. You see that? Okay. And by the way, there's a name for this type of check. It's called double check. So let's go back and let me think about this. So the reason I sack my queen on d8 is to create a double check. So it's kind of a double attack, and usually those are the strongest checks possible. Okay, it's like an atomic bomb. Double check, double explosion. Okay, so after queen to d8, after queen to d8, the king's going to eat the queen, and the bishop goes to g5, and the rook is opened up on d line, and these two pieces, the bishop and the rook, attack the king. Okay, double check. All right. Now the king only has two choices, two options, right? Okay. So this diagonal is shut down, and basically, when the king is here, he can go back to e8, or he can run to c7. Do you feel me? So in that position, the king only has two defensive tries. All right. So let's take a look at each one of them. Are you ready? Here we go. So here we go. I'm gonna do it. Checky wacky, yum yum, and then double check. If the king goes here, we have an opera mate with a mate with the rook and the bishop. Okay. The king cannot eat the rook. The king cannot run because of the bishop slicing on a diagonal like this. All right. So this is an opera mate, named after the famous game, 1858. Paul Murphy versus the Duke and Count in the Opera House. The opera mate, rook and bishop, baby. All right. So let's take a look what happens if the king runs to c7. Let's go there. Now, the king is on a dark square. I have a dark square bishop. I need to continue with checks. Okay? So I go this, check, and I touch the king with my bishop. All right? Okay? And now let's take a look. The king cannot go here, cannot go there or there because it's obstructed by pieces. Those squares are obstructing the king. And the king cannot go here because the bishop shoots this way. And the king cannot take the bishop because the rook says don't touch. And the king can go to this square because the rook covers that. And the king cannot go there because the rook covers that. So if you notice this, all the squares around the king shut down. And this is checkmate. Now, I want to say one more thing, which is important. Okay, so if you don't know the pattern, you have to use power moves, checks and captures. So let's take a look how this looks like using power moves. Check. Is check a power move? Yes. Double check. Is that power move? Yes. Check again. Mate. So 3 checks is what mate. Now let's take a look at the other variation. Queen check. Is it a check? Yes. Is this a check? Double check? Yes. And now if it goes to c7, we have a check again. 3 checks equals mate. Okay, so what are you learning here? Okay? What you should be learning here is when attacking the king, you have to use power moves. And power moves basically are there are 2 basic power moves, checks and captures. And there's a third one. And the third one is a move that sets up on the next turn a check or perhaps a capture. Okay? So you can put it like this. A power move is a check or a capture or a checking 2. Okay? So now you have 3 choices. Okay, 3 choices. Check, first choice, capturing, second choice, and third choice is setting up a checking too. All right? Do you feel me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Power. Do you understand what I'm saying? Marijuana. What you doing, baby? Are you puffing? Are you puffing? Maybe you're asleep because you puff too much. You know what I'm saying? Okie dokie. Here we are. Yes, baby. Yes. All right. So, what do you think about this example? Did you pick anything up that's useful? All right. Now look at this position. Look at it. Are you looking at it? Are you looking? Tell me you see the position. Okay, through the smoke. Through the smoke, can you see the position? Through the smoke. Just blow the smoke and then you'll get a clear picture of that position. Just blowing it. All right then. Good job, man. Good job. Now, if it's black to move here, it's a stalemate. It's a draw. Why? Why? Because yeah, it's a draw because the black king cannot move. Okay, the king is frozen. There's no check, therefore draw. Stalemate, right? But we're playing white, and it's white's to play. So now the question is very simple. Okay, what does white do to give checkmate to the black king? What does he do? Okay, so right now the noose is very tight and the king cannot move. You have to loosen up the noose a little bit so the king can breathe a little bit. Okay, all right. And the way you do it is this way. Are you ready? Are you ready, Jelly Belly? You play this move. Okay, and you could have gone here. You could have gone here. You could have gone here or there or here or here and here, right? But you decide to stop on that square because you're shutting down this square. That means when the king moves to this square, he cannot cross over here because of the rook. So what is happening here? You put the black king in a very small cage. So now when the king moves over, your own king, the white king, protects the rook, and now the king has to go in the corner because this square, c8, is shut down. So when the king goes in the corner, we make a triangle or a little pyramid. Okay? Now if you connect the dots here, we have a triangle or a pyramid. Okay? You see this geometry. So you use geometry to kind of help you remember the patterns. And the pattern is going to trigger your mind what to do. Okay? So take a picture of this position with your mind. Because your mind is a camera. It has film. Okay? Black or white or color, doesn't matter. Okay? And take a snapshot with your eyes. Click! Okay? And then file it and leave it there. Okay? And then, yeah, baby, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see? And leave it there. So when you play a chess game, when you left it there, okay, it's going to tingle. It's going to tingle. Give you a alert. Okay? And then you're going to focus. And it says, I'm feeling something, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. And then you say, well, let me use the power method. Okay? And then you plug in the power method. Okay? Combined with the tingle that's stored in your subconscious. Wow. And it opens up. And you're there. You say, wow. Eureka, baby. Eureka. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, triangle. That's right. All right. All right. Now let's move on. Let's move on, baby. Let's move on. Okay, I don't like this one. Okay, now let's do this one. And I'm doing this one because I know marijuana will like this one. Okay, because marijuana is into drugs and love, baby. Love and drugs. 19, 19 what? 1960s. Yeah, baby. All right. I call this is the kiss of death. The kiss of death. Okay? The kiss of death. All right? The queen is going to kiss the black king, and it's all over. The king dies. There you go. Now let's see how this works. Let's see how this works. Okay? Are you ready? So, queen, like this, okay, in front of the king directly is the kiss of death. Okay? Here it is. And the king is dead. And the king protects his own queen, and the queen puts an end to the king. You see that? The kiss of death. All right? Now, this king could have been on this square or on that square. It doesn't matter. It will protect the queen from either of those squares. Here, 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 or here. Do you feel me, baby? Do you feel me? The kiss of death. All right? Did you like that? Did you like it? It's like the Black Widow, baby. The Black Widow. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? All right then. All right. All right. 542. Paola. Marijuana. All right. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, let's see if we can find some more valuables for us to value. All right. Now look at this one. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Oh la 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 la. You didn't see that. Don't tell me you saw it. All right. Now this is a very, very nice position. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this position. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me snap it back. I wanted to do this and I did it. All right. Now let me touch this and I touched it. All right. Now, man, look at this. Every time I do this, it does things involuntarily. So let me correct it and pretend you did not see what I saw. Okay. All right. Here we go. Now there's a name for this pattern. It's called what? Yeah, maybe. How do I do 3Ds? Oh, you mean the glasses? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I think I look cool here. Okay, with the glasses. Okay. Yul Brenner, baby. Yul Brenner. All right. Now, there's a name for this. Let me see if I can remember it. No, I never tried it. I never tried it. No. Yeah, I'll check it out maybe. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Power. Power. Thanks for sharing. So what kind of name is that? What kind of name is that? Well, I'm a gangster, but not the second part, dude. Okay, gangster maybe, but the other word, I don't know. Oh, oh, okay. So what is it? What does it mean? You want to share? You want to share, baby? No problem. No problem. I'm egoless. Oh yeah, I'm free. I'm free. Oh, look at that. I'm being raided, baby. I'm being raided. Oh, I like it. It's like uh it's like a rainy day, baby. I love rain. I love rain. I don't know why. It's kind of instinctual. Love the rain, baby. Love the rain. Okay? Super Patser is here. Super Patser, man. All right. All right. So let's see what how this works. Well, actually, I'm not into. I have a friend. He's a headbanger. Okay, that's his handle. Okay, and I never heard of. Well, not really. Okay, I never knew what it meant. So now, when it shows up, I do this. I bang my head. Okay, so I was never really into metal. Okay, never. All right. Now this position is a famous kind of pattern, and if I can remember what's the name of this position, let me think. Okay, it's escaping me. Why can't I remember the name of this position? Let me think. It's not coming. It's blank. It's blank. Okay, you see that? It's blank. Okay, but it will come to me later, and when it does, I'll tell you. All right. So okay. So listen. You came late for the show, Super Patser. Super Patser, you came late for the show, man. Because if you came earlier, you would know how to do this. Even if you did not know the pattern, I gave a formula. I gave a formula, man. Okay, and it's called the power move method. Power move method. Okay, I love it. Look at this. All these snazzy names. Super Pats are two and okay tested. I like it. I like it. Good humor, man. All right. So this is what I'm saying. What am I saying? I'm saying something. What is it? Yeah. Oh yeah, now I know. What I'm saying is this. The power method or the power method, yeah. The power method is composed of two components, checks and captures. Now, somebody said Super Pattern said bishop check, yes? Okay, so you're looking at checks, and checks are usually, well, they are usually the strongest move, and those are the moves you have to look at first. Okay, so bishop takes f7. Well, if you knew a little bit about chess, you would know what I'm saying. So that tells me a lot what level you're playing on. You know what I'm saying? All right, so bishop takes f7, then the king takes, yeah? And then you're down a piece, you're down a piece. And if you play the second check, the queen will take you down a piece again. If you play knight check, you'll take with the pawn, you get a piece back, but you sack two, and there's nothing in this position. So there's only one check, it doesn't work. And according to the power method, you have to look at checks, which you did, and nothing comes of it. And now you look at captures. So there is a capture here. Can you tell me what it is? Here's the capture. You see that? That's a capture. Now this capture is going to cost you the queen, right? And what that means is if you're going to lose your queen, you have to get the king. So sack the queen, get the king. That's the basic idea. All right, so let's see how it works. So let's see how this works. Okay, so yummy yummy, good for tummy. And the bishop said, "Oh, you don't like your mommy." Okay, so yum yum, but then checky wecky, and after this checky wecky mate. Now let's look at this position. Okay, the king's under attack by the knight. He's gonna take this. He's gonna take the bishop because of this knight. So these two squares are shut down. Cannot go here because of this knight. Cannot go here because of the bishop. Cannot go back because of the bishop. Can't go here because of the knight. Okay, this square is obstructed. This square is obstructed. This square is obstructed. Okay, so if you look at this, he's in a mating box, mating net. All the squares around the king are shut down. So this is checkmate. Okay, all right. So if you look at the forcing method, okay, what we see is a capture, then a check, then a check. So capture, check, and check equals mate. And capture and checks are part of the power method. So when you're attacking the king, use the method and win. Okay, do you feel me now? Do you feel me? How simple is this? How simple is this? If you know it, if you know the pattern, you don't think, you just do it. And if you don't know the pattern, then you don't know it. And if you don't know it, then you have to think. And now the question is, how do you think? And the answer is, use the power method. And what is a power method? Two parts, checks or captures. So put it all together, maybe you'll find it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Don't run away, stay and play. Help the monk, have a nice day. My phone is doing a ring. How do I turn it off? No clue. Done. Okay, so here we are. Here we are. Yeah, it was. So yeah, so in this position, I guess his last move was maybe this. Yeah. Okay. And what's interesting is we have a mismatch. We have a mismatch. So if we look at force and material, we have 3 pieces developed, right? And we have 1 piece developed by black. The ratio attack, the ratio attacking group versus defensive group is 2 to 1, 3 to 1. Okay, and that's why this works. Okay, so if you have quicker development, you will create a mismatch, and mismatch might give you an opportunity to win, either by knowing the pattern or by using the power method. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Any statements? Any declarations? Look at Super Patson. Now he's all talkative. What is going on? You can't shut him down. All right then. Good job. Good job. All right. Now let me see if I can find another piece of value from the next position. Oh la la, I love this one, dude. Dude, this is so nice. So nice. All right. Now take a look at this one. Look at this one and tell me what you see. And what I mean by see, I mean, what do you understand? Seeing is understanding. That's how I use it. Now, what do you see? All right. So let me get a signal back. Okay. What do you see? I send a message. What do you see into the universe? Okay. Oh. And you want to tell me the variation? A variation is a sequence of moves. And they are made from force moves, the power moves. A variation is a sequence of power moves, okay? Yeah, baby, yeah. All right, go on, go on. Go on, big boy. Okay then, okay. Now what? Now you're stuck, huh? Are you stuck? Did your engine break down? Did your little pewter stop working? What are you telling me? You only gave me one move. And you said it's made in 3. You gave me one move. You gave me a variation of 1. Okay, what? That's the right answer. What's the right answer? The right answer is made in 3, but you don't have the proof. What's the proof, dude? Everything's forced, man. Everything's forced. Okay? You see that? Aren't you lucky you're here with me, with the Palm Monk, so you can punk other people by listening to the Punk Monk? All right. Well, how's the smothered mate? You haven't told me. So knight to f7, king to g8. Now what's the rest of it? All right. Yes, baby. Knight to h6. What happens then? What happens then? Go ahead. Don't be shy. Give it a try. Don't run away. Stay and play. Oh, the monk. Have a nice day, dude. Yeah, baby. And one more move, baby. Go for it. Do it. Do it. Well, you missed a move for black. Okay, after queen to g8, rook takes g8, then knight to f7. Okay, very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, now let me. Okay, Okay, you're right. So let me show you. Let me show you how I think about this position. Okay. Okay. Now the way I think about it is I already know it, so I don't have to think. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay. But if I have to think about it and try to explain it, just the way I would do it. Okay. I'm looking for checks. I'm looking for checks. All right. So there's three checks. There's a knight check, there's a knight check, and there's a queen check. So I make a mental list of all the checks. Okay. Now, so I make a mental list of all the checks. Now, why do I make a mental list of all the checks before I calculate? Because then I'm able to cover all the possibilities, and I won't miss any if the first or the second one doesn't work. I will cover all the bases. So if the queen check is going to go yum yum. So basically, by the method of elimination, queen to g8 in the first move is no good. All right. All right. The knight check here. The pawn is going to eat it, and now the queen is left by herself, and it's not going to work. Okay. It's not going to work. Okay. So what's going to happen then? You might play check. He moves over, and then that's it. There's no more checks, and black is going to win. All right. So queen to g8 is no go. All right. Knight to g6 is no go. Okay. How about knight to f7? Now, if knight to f7 and rook takes the knight, the queen will drop, and then rook will block, and I'll eat the rook. Checkmate. Back rank mate. Okay. So that means the knight is immune from capture. All right. So after knight to f7 check, king has to go. Now you're going to sacrifice the queen, but the very important recipe before the sacrifice is something called a double check. So you have to do a double check, attacking the king twice with the knight and attacking with the queen at the same time. So the double check has to happen before the queen sacrifice, and then you go checky wecky. All right. And the reason you need double check because the king cannot take the queen because of the knight. So the rook has to do it. And that's the point of the double check. And when the rook takes, it's mate. Okay? So what's going here? You memorized the pattern. You memorized the sequence of moves. You memorized it, okay? But what you should do is after you memorize, you break it down and make sense to it on a rational level, on a conscious level, and it's like a piece of machinery. Okay, you take it apart, you put it together, and then if you're able to do that, put all the parts together, then you really understand, what the position about and why it works. Why it works, not because you're told that's the way to do it, but now you know the why behind it. Yeah, and that's all I have to say about this. Good job, and I do like your contribution, Super Patsy number 2. Yeah, I like it because this is great. Okay, you're just intuitive, man. Okay, you connected to the cosmos, and they just feed you information. Okay, okay, yeah, like a zombie or something. You don't need a mind. Okay, everything's fed down. You know what I'm saying? Lucky dude, man. All right, so uh, I'm just kidding with you. All right, in a good way. All right. So what's going on here? So let's move on. Let's move on, and let's finish this page. Then I'm going to take a break, and then I'll come back later to do some more. So let's see. Where are we now? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, this is so easy, man. This is so easy. I love it. It's so easy. Energize. Okay, here we go. Now let me take a look at this, guys. And yeah, look at this one. We did something like this before, and before you arrived here, we did something similar. The name of this mate is called Anastasia mate. Anastasia. And if you remember the early example, the pattern we looked at earlier, you will know how to do this one. All right? But if you don't know the pattern, you're going to use the power method to figure it out. And then when you use the power method, okay, it's a no-brainer, man. It's a no-brainer. And what is a no-brainer? It takes no brains to figure it out. All right. All right. So do you have any thoughts about this position? How to munch? Do you know how to munch here, man? You know how to do it. Okay. So the first thing is to make a list of all the checks. So how many checks are here? Let me see. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4 checks. Oh, look at this guy. He has a sequence already in mind. Okay. So what does it say? 97, king to h, queen takes in. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Oh, man, you have skillage. You have skillage, Super Pats. You have skillage. All right. So this is what Super Patzer says. Are you ready? He says we should play knight to e7, and then the king is frozen. The king is frozen. Okay, cannot move. And when the king cannot move, it's frozen. Okay? And that's a good sign for the attacking side. All right? Now, the queen is making contact with the king. All right? And what's protecting the king is the wall in front of the king. Okay? The wall. Okay? So the queen will sacrifice herself to make a hole in the wall, and so the rook, the other piece that's left over, can swing over and give a checkmate because the queen sacrificed and made a hole in the wall. Okay? Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me? So let's see how this works. Checky Wacky, who's your daddy? And over. Make a hole in the wall. Yum yum. And rook over. And this is checkmate. H7 is shut down. And H8 is shut down. H6 is shut down. Knight shuts down G8. Knight shuts down G6. The pawn is obstructing the king, so that's shut down. So if you look at all the squares that are on the king is in a mating net or in a mating box, and the game is over. All right, you see that? Yeah, that was perfect. That was perfect, Super Pets. All right then, Fisher style. All right. So is Fisher your chess icon? Is Bobby your chess icon, man? All right. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So am I done with this page? Am I done with this page? Let me see. Let me see. Oh, not yet. But we're coming close. I think we have to do 2 more after this one, and then we'll take a break. Okay? So let's take a look at this one. And this one is easy. This one's so easy. And it's called a crisscross mate or Borden mate. Okay? Oh, you're British. Cool, man. Where are you from? Are you from London? All right. So here's the position. Here's the position. And do you know this pattern? If you know the pattern, you know the answer. Oh, cool. So London it is. London Bridge, Big Ben. Michael Short, Mickey Adams, Wayne Jones. Who's the other one? There's another pretty strong GM. Used to be Tony Miles, first British GM, I think. Anyway, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Does anybody know how to do this one? If you don't know, the power method, man. Use the power method. Okay? Oh, Simon Williams, that's right. The Ginger GM. Yes, baby. Yes. Ginger GM. Okie dokie. There's another one. Another top GM. Shane. Is it Shane? Shane? Is it Shane? Yeah, Shane. Is it Shane? I think his name is Shane. Something like that. Of course, John Nunn was another top GM. Okay. So, there's also Davis, Plaskett. Who else? I don't know. There's a few of them. Anyway, okay. So here it is. 502 says this. Bishop to a6. Now, bishop to a6 is not a check and it's not a capture. All right? Okay, so because if you introduce any moves that is not a check and a capture, okay, if you introduce any move that's not a check and a capture, then we're not going to use it. Okay? This is an exclusive club. Power move method, it's a very exclusive club. And to belong to it, you have to be a check or a capture or a checking two. So you make a move, on the next turn it's a check. Or you make a move, on the next move is a capture. So there are three choices to belong to the power club. Number one, do you have a check? Number two, do you have a capture? Number three, can you make a move and then prepare a check or a capture on the next turn? That's it. That's it. Any other move, and actually here, when you play bishop to a6, you're preparing a check on the second move. So this is kind of an attacking move. Okay, so it fits. Actually, this fits into the power method. Okay, 542. Okay, it fits in the power method, but you have to go from the top to the bottom. The move you chose is number 3 on the list. In terms of category, you have to look at the category number 1 is check, category number 2 is capture, and category number 3 is preparing a check or a capture. That's category 3. And you're now looking at category 3, but there's also category 1 first. It exists. And what is the move? And the move is, somebody wrote it, yeah. Bishop takes BCA, yeah. Okay, so yeah. So Super Pats is using a little pewter. Okay, go ahead. Come on, fess up, admit it. You're using a pewter. Okay, so anyway, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is the way it works. All right, this is the way it works. So if you play, you're looking for checks, right? You're looking for checks. Is this a check? Oh, excuse me. Let me take it back. Okay, is this a check? Yes, it is. The king says check, and the king cannot move because the bishop shuts down the escape square. Okay, and the queen and the bishop cover this, and the queen covers this. Okay, and that is a mate, right? So the pawn has to take, right? And now, if you look at this, the king has an escape square, white square, right? But you have a white square bishop, all right? So I'm playing bishop to a6, you shut down both of these white squares, and the bishop shuts down these two, okay? And these are occupied, and those squares are closed, and all the squares around the king are covered, shut down, and it's check and mate, all right? All right, so you have to look for checks first. Here's a check, and here's a check. So this checkmate is composed of two moves, check and check. Two checks equal mate. Two checks part of the power method? The answer is definitely yes. All right, so now let me see if we can go here. All right, so two more, and then we'll take a break. Yes, sirree. So let me go back here because I'm cheating, and let's do this. Let me do some prep here, and let me do this. Yes, sirree. All right. So look at this position, guys. Oh, by the way, if you're here for the first time, okay, please follow me. Press press the little heart somewhere to follow me. Why? Because I'm awesome. Yes. So follow me, and if you want to support my stream, you can do so also. There's PayPal somewhere, I think. And but definitely follow me because you'll have fun, and at worst, you'll learn something. How bad can this be? Anyway, so this is one of them. Take a look at it. Okay. So what are you thinking here? Do you know the pattern? The answer is probably not, unless you're Patzer. And Patzer knows all the solutions here. Okay, so checks. Now let's take a look how many checks are there. We're gonna make a mental list of all the checks. So we have a check here, we have a check here, and we have a check here. Okay? So there's three checks, right? And there's a fourth check here. All right? So there we go. Those are the checks. Okay? There are four checks. All right? So hopefully out of the four, something's going to work. Something's going to work. Okay? So now we have a list of four moves. Now, let me quote or try to remember what Sherlock Holmes said. Sherlock Holmes. When you eliminate the impossible, whatever's left over, however improbable, must be the truth. Now, why is this relevant to what I'm doing? Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I just remembered somebody. Oh, Daniel King. I left him out. How could I leave Daniel King out? Unbelievable. All right. So, what does it say here? Rook to c8, rook to c8, rook, yeah. Super packs are right on. Right on the money, baby. Right on the money. So, look at this. Let's look at this. Well, this move makes no sense. That's a check, and we can take it two different ways. So that's ridiculous. Okay, I can take this check here, and the king is going to eat me. That's ridiculous. Now the two rooks I have attacking e8 twice, and the two rooks here defending e8 twice. So the ratio of attacks to defenders is the same. That's a no-go. Okay, so by this kind of logic, by this logic, if I eliminate one of the defenders, we create a ratio of 2 to 1. 2 to 1. 2 on this square and 1 on this square. Okay, 2 to 1. And then 2 minus 1 is 1. And who's left standing is the white rook. And checkmate. Okay, so that's it. This is so simple. Okay, and there's a name for this mate. So before I move to the next one, who can tell me the name of this type of checkmate? There's a name for this. What is it called? Hey, can you guys hear the music? Because I'm listening to music. Can you hear it? Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so nobody knows. So nobody knows what the name of this mate is. What's the name? What's the name? All right. So I'm gonna tell you then. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. The name of this mate is called back rank mate. So this line here is the back rank. Okay, can I draw? Can I draw here? I'm trying to. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to draw an arrow. Why doesn't it work? Oh, there it is. So this is the back rank, and this is the back rank. Okay, there's only two pieces that can give mate on the back ranks: is the rooks or the queen. Okay. All right. Very good. And now we will go to the last one. The last one. And this is the last one. Then I'll take a break, guys. All right. So here it is. And this one has a name too. Oh, what am I doing? Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that, but I did it. Okay. Wait a minute. Why are you looking? Don't look, okay? All right. You guys cheated. All right. So look at this position. This has a name. Who knows the name of this pattern? Oh, I'll tell you what it is. Let me take a quick look. Uh, this is uh, this is sunset and tango music. Yes, it's called Arabian. But you know what? That's correct, Super Pants. So you know what? When I heard the word Arabian, you know what I thought it meant? You know what I thought it meant? Yeah, this is what I thought. Okay, the night is called Arabian Night. I thought this is how I was thinking. Okay, and some of this is Arabian Night, and therefore we have a checkmate because this is a night, and there are such things as called Arabian horses, right? And this is a little horsey. It's Arabian, so I thought, well, there's Arabian mate. Okay, but you know what? Kind of relatively recently, I discovered why it's called Arabian. Okay. Anyway, a long, long time ago in chess literature, this example with a mate of rook and knight was found in some old, um, I guess, Arabian manuscripts, chess manuscripts. Okay, and that's why it's called Arabian mate. Okay, which is kind of interesting. All right, so let me take a look, and this is a checkmate. Okay, and why is a checkmate? The king's under attack. He cannot take the rook because of the knight. This square is covered by the knight. This square is covered by the rook. All the squares on the king shut down. The king's under check. It's immobilized, frozen, and it's a checkmate. So king is inside the mating box or the mating net, and that's the way this works. So, this is the way it is. So listen, people, friends, countrymen. Um, I'm gonna take a little break. I'll come back and I'll continue on the second page of mating patterns, and then we'll go on and learn some new things. And in the meantime, I'm going to take a break. How long will I take a break? Can somebody tell me? How long should my break be? What am I worthy of? How long should I take a break, people? My people, how long do I take a break? No comments? Do you talk English? Can you talk English? Windsock is here. He's silent. Commander Root. All right. All right. So, tell you what. So, I'll take a break. Let's say 30 minutes. So let's see. So yeah. So I'll be back in about 30 minutes. And thank you for showing up. Show back in 30 minutes, and we'll continue with our awesomeness and mind expansion and become an awesome chess player. All right? Because I expand your mind, man. All right. So I'll see you guys later. Do follow me, please, because I'm awesome. And if you like what you see, support my stream. And I'll see you guys later in the elevator. And Punk Monk signing out till 30 minutes from now. I shall be back for more pleasant experience. Yeah, baby. Yeah.